Well, the time has finally came here on the farm to clean up the old hog pen right here. The last two pigs left last week, and there will no longer be any more on this farm. It's just not a profitable endeavor anymore, so gonna get all this mess cleaned up. You can tell where they pretty much have ate everything down over the years that they've been here, and the grade is like a foot lower than the pasture. The plan is to get all this cleaned up, and I'm going to bring some more topsoil in, dump it all down here, blade this back in, get all this planted in grass for more cow pasture, because I think the pasture looks prettier than this right here. We'll save a couple of those old huts right there, but clean everything else up and get rid of it. So I'm gonna go over here and turn the power off to the fence, start taking the grinder and cutting this wire right here, getting it rolled up, and come over here with the mini, pull all these posts out. We're gonna start dumping some dirt in here and cleaning this up. I may go in there, and there's a lot of rocks in this area, scrape some of those up before covering them up, and maybe they won't come back to the surface. Well, the cows are excited about their new pasture project. Started cutting the old electric fence wire and rolling it up. We're gonna pull all these T-posts out this morning. That way Robert can start hauling some dirt over here, and he'll start dumping it down through here so we can kind of get all this filled in. The cows are like, yeah, we want some more pasture. So that is the plan for today. We'll get, I don't know, half of this or so pulled up. Go ahead and pull these T-posts up and that section right there so that we can start working. I've got to go grade a little building pad off with the skid steer, and I'll let him start hauling dirt while I do that. I don't think it's gonna pull those out. Pretty sure those were driven in the ground with the excavator. We can try later. Those things are definitely in the ground. There's one of them, it was tipping the excavator up. You can wrap the chain around it and try it. I put blade down. You're gonna have to do better. I can't film and excavate. Well, we got the mulcher on the skid steer today. Got the grading bucket. Got to do a little bit of stone work up there at the entrance. Here at Robert's farm, going to do a little bit of mulching down a fence line, and he has rented a post pounder we're going to put on here and try to put some fence posts in the ground to make some cow pasture. Got the post pounder on the skid steer. If you remember, this is what I cleared with Betty and the D6 about 3 years ago. We ended up pushing everything up over there and another pile over there, and he's got some decent pasture growing here now. So gonna run a fence all the way down that back edge, down through here, and off back there all the way to those taller trees. I guess we'll see how well this thing works. I've never used one like this before. It only handle an 8-inch post, and all these are like 8.5, so we'll have to take the chainsaw and trim the top down a little bit so it fits up in the groove. It's got like a recessed plate that the post sits in to kind of hold it in place, and then it hammers it down. So we shall see how this goes. Kind of go down a little more, hit it again. The ground's really hard, but we got it in about 3 feet.
Good thing I don't have any neighbors.
All right, well, we got our post in up there in the corners and everything. Now we've got to finish this section right here. We've got all those down through here. I need to actually mulch a trail down here to those taller trees and then across the back so that we can finish this line out right here. Got the mulcher on the skid steer, made a few passes right here. It looks like this is going to go pretty good. So I'll set the camera up and you watch me make some progress through the trees here. This is all logging cut over. It's been cut for about, I think, going on about 4 years now. Well, it's not the prettiest in the world, but it's knocked down where we can see what we're doing. A lot of big stumps left. This is all logging cut over, like I said. But at least we got a trail now. We can come all the way down to there, go across the back, and then up that side over there. All that is a row of stumps that were dug up when he had the Hyundai here. We'll take that one day with the dozer before he puts the wire up and push everything over that way. So at least it's open and we can go ahead and get this probably 3/4 of an acre fenced in right here. Thing's actually doing pretty good. We're doing all the corners right here, everywhere the fence turns with the big telephone poles. I mean, we're having to cut them down so they fit in the pile and the post driver here, because it'll only do an 8-inch post, so some of them are like 10 inches. We got to cut them down a little bit. This should be the last corner right here, and then one more in the center, so 4 more posts. So the other morning we were able to come in here and take all these T-posts out, roll up all the wire. I got that pile of posts right there. I need to move those over here out of the way. Got the Komatsu dozer over here. It was, we brought it back home a couple weeks ago from that last big grading job. So I took the rake off of it, and while it's here at the house, I'm gonna use it to go ahead. Robert hauled yesterday, no, the day before, 3 more loads of dirt over here so that I can go ahead and spread this out, kind of blend this transition in a little bit better to return this back into pasture. So I'm gonna set the camera up and spread some dirt out. Well, I think that looks a lot better. It's a nice smoother transition down. I'll come over here with the skid steer and the ruckus rake next time it's back here at the farm. Run over that, touch that up a little bit better. Still got to finish taking up the fence and stuff in the back, so I'm gonna leave it alone for right now. Clean up those old buildings, but at least the majority of that dirt is where it needs to be now. Now I need to go over there to the other side of the farm and spread out all the topsoil over top of the septic field that we put in about 3 months ago. So here is the septic field for this area out here. It's already put in. You can kind of see the lines right here, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna mark my corner flags right here and pull up all these other ones. I'm gonna run over this with the dozer, slick it up a little bit better, and then I brought some topsoil right there. I'm gonna try to push that over here and cover this up. As you can tell, it does grow some stuff, but it's some pretty nasty clay, so I want to kind of put a skim coat of topsoil over it, and hopefully it'll grow some better grass and look a little more better. Well, that didn't take long to knock that out. I love this little Komatsu dozer. I'm telling you, I think it's the best grading dozer out there. 2 passes over that, looks good. I'll run over with the power rake, clean that up. Still I'm gonna get rid of that pile of clay, push that. I gotta check around the septic tank, make sure everything's tied in good before I cover that up, but just wanted to get that knocked down before it rained on it. I'm gonna go over there to the pond now, get a few trees taken down this afternoon, and make a little more progress over there. So I got the old 220 going, need to put some fuel in it. Brought Thunder Creek down here, just fills it up a lot faster. I got about an hour of free time, and we need a few more logs to make a load, tractor trailer load of hardwood pulpwood up there on the Be the Good job we're working on. So I'm gonna come down here and grab, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these bigger trees. Go ahead and take them down. That way I can cut that up and we'll throw it in the dump truck and haul it up there. That way we can finish out a load with that. But I'm happy with that fire. It burnt down about all this stuff right here, so not a whole lot of stuff left at all. Go ahead and take this oak tree down, and probably that poplar that got burnt, maybe those gum trees over there. That should be enough to get the logs I need to make a load. Let's go ahead and take down this first oak tree. Got some fuel in the machine. Might just go ahead and come on down. There we go, timber. Pile this stuff up back on top of those ashes, because I know it might catch back on fire, even though they've been out for a while. You know how fire is, and it's windy today. I think we leave well enough alone. So I'll probably end up coming through here and scraping all this up, I think some of this is, there could be some decent topsoil down in here. Might be a little nasty, but we'll wait and see. Hello. Let's see if this one will just go ahead and just fall over. I think it will. Timber! That didn't take much. Cut up right there. Make another burn pile somewhere right in here-ish. Mess up. Grab some more of these trees. Just keep plucking away. Take down these two right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and chainsaw everything up. It should give me about, I don't know, 10 logs or so. May take down one or two more. We'll just see how it works out. Take this machine to another clearing job for a customer I've done a lot of work for, so I'd like to at least get the clearing done on this pond before I pull it away again. Like, I want to just stay here and finish the pond, but I know how much time that's going to take. And it's hard for me to say no to somebody that wants work done. Because I remember when I was younger, when things got really slow and we didn't have a lot of stuff to do. It's hard to say no when somebody wants to spend money with you. Really isn't going anywhere. Yeah, there's definitely better times to work on it, like right now while it's dry, but you never know what the future brings. You might end up with a lot of downtime. This will be a project I can work on then. Just grateful that we're in a position where if things do get slow, we've got stuff to work on around here, and we'll be all right. chainsaw and cut this stuff up real quick. Alright, so cleaning everything up here real quick. Grab the dump truck and throw these logs in that. That should be enough to finish up the tractor trailer load, other jobs. At least I can get rid of them and not have to worry about burning these bigger logs. And the fire's already starting to smoke again, just from the little bit of disturbing I did cleaning the treetops up over top of it. So that's why you don't pile more clearing debris over top of an old burn pile. I mean, I've had to catch on fire 2 or 3 months after burning. I'll walk this down here. I've already taken one, come back in. I got 2 more, and that'll be a wrap. Not a whole lot of progress today, but hey, every little bit counts. You gotta work when you have the time to work. Be a pretty pond once I get it all cut out, moved to where it needs to go. Probably going to have a lot of extra dirt here. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of it. This is not the greatest dirt in the world. It's great when it's dry, but it is some nasty stuff when it's wet. I might haul some of it to the back of the farm and keep extending my cow pasture with it. Just kind of keep putting topsoil over top of it. Last 2, and I'm gonna go get the dump truck. Alright, let's put some logs in the truck. I think this is a 20-foot bed, so you have the dog box in there for the hydraulic cylinder. So that takes up a little bit of room. So I try to put the bigger ones on each side and then put some of these short ones in the center. gum logs. That one there pretty short. Yep. Put them in the center. I can put some more longer ones in there and they don't get too crisscrossed. It's hard to see exactly what's going on in there because obviously you can't see. But I do know I measured this one. I cut it 16, so didn't mean to drop it like that. Poplar log. Hoping these fit in there. I think I cut them a touch long. We'll see what happens. Put them right there. We go. That did fit barely. Alright, well this is going to finish this out. We'll go hook the trailer up, get everything ready for tomorrow. And that's going to be a wrap for today. Next time I come back over here, I'll probably take that group of little trees out right there, get all that crunched up and piled up, and then there's another big pine tree over there. I'm going to finish clearing that out. And then over there, I think I've decided I'm going to leave that berm of trees over there just to try to keep as much privacy between me and the neighbor as possible. I don't like it, but it's going to, once I take all those trees out, it's going to be wide open, and that's not the point of having all this. I like to kind of be secluded, but I do have to get in there and fix that whole section of dam, so I think I can tie it in right there and redo it all and still be pretty secluded. I'd end up planting some more stuff right there later on if need be. So a little more progress, slow but steady.